first comedian to the stage. He is brand new to the comedy scene, but he's been doing some killer sets around the city, and I can't wait to welcome to the stage, everybody, Quentin Carlin!
Chop and Chew, what's up? What's up? The best sausage restaurant in Vancouver. And talking about sausages, it looks like we got a sausage party in the back there. There's like a bunch of old white men with like a young Japanese girl. I don't know if this is a comedy show or a... You just took my punchline, but go ahead, man. I don't know if this is a comedy show or the beginning of a porno, so hopefully it's the latter. Talking about that, I just want to thank Aiden. Like you said, I'm new to this scene. I've been enjoying it a lot. Do you mind when you just right in the camera scene there, bud? Sorry, you guys. Like I said, I'm new. I don't even know how this stuff's set up, so I appreciate it. But it's a bucket list for me to do all this. Speaking of bucket lists, does anybody else really, and I mean like really, want to have sex with a midget? I mean, am I the only one, or is this like a weird thing? Okay. I've been thinking about this a lot, because just think of all the things you could do with it that you can't do with like a regular sized human. And I think if you don't want to have sex with a midget, you're just not having enough sex with regular sized people. You know what I mean? And the reason I thought of this is I was living in the Philippines. I was playing basketball professionally. Humble brag right there. But in Manila, we went to a game after, or we went to a bar after the game. And has anybody heard of that place called the Hobbit House? Wow. Wait for this. So there's a bar that you walk in, and it's all run by little people. Midgets. And Filipino people are kind of short to begin with. So when you walk in, I'm like on an ant farm. I'm trying not to step on them. I'm 6'7". But I go to order a drink, and the bartender's like, "Do you want to play a game?" And I'm like, I like games. And she's like, "If you order a drink, there's a Velcro wall right there with a bunch of Velcro vests over there. You can put on a Velcro vest on one of the little people and chuck it onto the wall. And it sticks there. And it flops around. For only $5. For $5. I spent $575 that night for 3 hours chucking midgets against the wall. That was the funnest night of my life. Alright? I was like the Tom Brady of throwing footballs. I was chucking midgets. Like, I look over and DJ Khaled's over there. He's like, another one. Another one. That's where that song came from. I was throwing dwarfs like darts. Wow, that's so bad. But that's the thing about Asia. There's really no rules. I lived in Asia for 10 years. And the thing about living in Asia, if you're in a place like Japan or Korea, you can say the wildest shit in society, and no one knows what you're saying. Like, me and my friends would just be talking shit all the time, and no one had any clue. Until I was at a movie premiere. Like, we had this big film festival, and there's like thousands of people there. And me and my buddy go in to the elevator after the show's done, and we're all crammed in there. And my buddy, another white guy from Canada, he's like, "Hey man, do you still have that couch that you bought off me?" Because when I moved into his place, I just bought all of his stuff when he moved out. And I'm like, "Oh, actually man, I just got rid of that thing like a month ago. Why?" And he's like, "Bro, I didn't want to tell you, I felt really bad. But that couch was filthy." There was a loft, so he couldn't have sex with girls in the bedroom upstairs because it's too small. He's like, "I banged so many girls on that couch. There's crusted up everything there." I'm like, "Oh man." And he's like, "Why did you sell it?" I'm like, "Same thing." And like, that's why I stood up every time the couch stuck to my leg, the cushion. And then all of a sudden, we're at the front of the elevator. This is a true story. This isn't bullshit. I hear from the back of the elevator, "Hey Quentin, I'm the guy who bought that couch from you." I swear. And me and my buddy freeze, and we turn into the back, and there's the guy who was at my place a month ago hauling that couch out. And he's like, "My mother is visiting from the Philippines. And she's been sleeping on that couch for the last 2 weeks. And I look down, and her mother is a little person from the Philippines. And my buddy and I look at each other, the elevator door opens, and we grab them both and chuck them out just like we're back in the hobbit hole. Yeah, that last part didn't happen, but the first part actually happened. And just to wrap up, you know, thinking about playing basketball, is there any athletes here? Anybody that used to play sports? Anybody used to play sports? Yeah? My buddy back there, we were college basketball teammates at University of Winnipeg. Thanks for coming down. But I really missed playing sports, and I realized that I have an opportunity to go back. It was always my dream to play in the NBA. I was never good or black enough to do so. But I found a loophole. So I want to announce tonight to wrap up, I've just been drafted as the first overall player as the new WNBA trans athlete. And I'm sponsored by Bud Light. I'm sponsored by Bud Light. Thank you, everyone. That's my time. Thank you so much. Have fun. I appreciate it. That's a new joke. If you don't know Bud Light, is kind of a thing with trans. All right.
Let's keep it going for Quentin Carlin, everybody! He's got such a bright future at this business, oh my lord. This next comedian coming to the stage runs the Show Me Yours podcast and kills shows all around the time 24/7. Please give it up.